Welcome to Das Cafe. We want to talk about Kelly Clarkson. Here are some of the foods that you would need to avoid. Legumes. So legumes are your beans, peas, lentils, and peanuts. Grains, and that's wheat, rice, oats, corn, quinoa. And also refined starches. So when you look at refined starches, definitely all your sweets. So that's your donuts, that's your cookies, that's cake, that's pie, and all of those you would be avoiding. In addition to that, you would be avoiding white bread, and you would be avoiding biscuits, muffins, tortillas, pasta, cashews, chia, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, potatoes, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, eggplant, ripe bananas, and pears, milk and milk products, dairy, unless it's grass-fed. Now, you can have meat as long as it's grass-fed meat. You can have wild-caught fish and poultry, and they would, again, specify how much you can have in a day. Kelly Clarkson had reached 203 pounds at one point. Now, she's 5 feet 3.5 inches. And her doctor was concerned because some of the lab values weren't looking good. She had some thyroid issues, and she was pre-diabetic. And she decides that she will go on a diet by Dr. Steve Gundry. And in this book, he talks about this lectin-free diet. And he says, well, the lectin-free diet is important because it can help you to lose weight. It can help with inflammation. It can also help if you have thyroid issues, and also with preventing a leaky gut. Now, a leaky gut is when you're eating these lectins, according to Dr. Gundry, and you start getting these microscopic holes in the lining of your gut. And because of that, now you start getting these bacteria and these toxins are crossing over the lining, and it gets into your bloodstream, and it can cause a lot of health issues. And she moves to New York. Now in New York, she's got to be more active because I think she's walking her dog. She's following this diet, this lectin-free diet, and she's also taking some medication, but she doesn't say what the medication is, but she does disclose that it's not Ozempic. She loses 60 pounds. Now that's significant. I am a registered dietitian, but my information does not take the place of your health practitioner's plan for you. Now, is it effective? Well, I have two schools of thought. My first school of thought is, well, you're definitely going to lose some weight if you are eliminating the refined starches. So if you were big on bread, oh yeah, and bread is one of them that you're supposed to avoid. A number of people share with me that, bread is their problem, and that would include biscuits and pancakes and waffles and all of those products, food products. So if that is you, obviously eliminating this, you could probably achieve some weight loss, even if you don't get them refined. But if you get them with the whole grains, you miss carbohydrates on your plate, and it may not be sustainable in the long run. Plus, we get some good nutrition from all of those whole grains. Other health experts are saying that this diet is controversial and that there isn't enough evidence to suggest that this diet is very sound. There is a Dr. Nicole Hardin, and she's a cardiologist, a lipidologist, and she just has an awesome educational background. And this is what she says. While there is little to no evidence that a lectin-free diet is healthy for you, there are an abundance of studies indicating that a whole food, plant-based diet is good for your heart and for your brain. I talk about the lectin-free diet in another program. So I definitely want you to see that. Although there isn't a lot of studies to really support the soundness of this diet, I do see some good aspects. There are some vegetables that are promoted, like asparagus and dark green leafy vegetables. You can't say anything wrong with dark green leafy vegetables. But I do have an issue with eliminating your beans and your peas and your lentils, because you can reduce the amount of lectin if that's the issue. You can reduce the amount of lectin if you're cooking and soaking those foods. And we don't eat beans raw. You cook a high temperature for a good period of time, you definitely reduce the amount of lectins that you would take in. And if we're going to go to the Bible, the 3 Hebrew boys followed and ate mainly beans. They didn't eat from the king's table. And so they were compared. They had 10 days to follow that diet, which was primarily beans. And they were going to be compared with those who ate off the king's table, all that rich food and a lot of meat and a lot of rich food. And the 3 Hebrew boys were superior in every area that they could be, intellectually, physically. So you can't beat that. I would want you, if you're considering the Kelly Clarkson diet, to talk to your doctor and be under your doctor's guidance. That's what I have to say about that diet. You're in the after party, and in the after party, I like to talk about more intimately with you diet and health. Please, I usually post on a Thursday, the after party. On the Wednesday, I post the cooking show. And sometimes on a Monday, I'm going to be posting the after party. But I definitely want you to be there. Join the community, subscribe. I'm Das, I'm out, and I'll see you next show.